Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Sense. Thanks for joining me today. Nice day today, beautiful sunshine out. It's kind of shining in my eyes right now, but it feels kind of good after being inside all day in the back cave. I'm glad to be able to talk to you while I'm outside, the weather permitting. It's kind of chilly, but it's still a really nice day. And today I wanted to talk to you about a fragrance that's been on my mind and yours for the last month or so, and that is Date for Men. Oh, sorry, Date for Men. Cut. That's right, Jeremy's second release, first release of course being Office for Men, Fragrance Army, fragrance1.com, Date for Men. Now I had high hopes for Date for Men, and it didn't let me down, to be quite honest. I'm just going to tell you that up front. I really like the fragrance. However, is it something new and amazing, something unexpected, something that turned the tides of the entire fragrance community? No, not really. In fact, the joke in holding up Hunter, which is an arm off, Hunter Intense, is that it's very, very similar to Hunter Intense. And Hunter Intense, of course, is a clone of Versace Dylan Blue or Dior Sauvage. I mean, there's a lot of things this smells like. But honestly, the first thing that I thought of when I smelled Date for Men was all of those other fragrances. And it very easily could see Alberto Morales having a conversation with Jeremy, and Jeremy expressing himself in the emphatic way that he does.
Hey, I'm a teenager, sexy time.
And saying, I really want people to go for this fragrance like they go for Dior Sauvage, that they go for Versace, that they go for, and just naming off these brands and these specific fragrances that he wanted it to be like. And Alberto, of course, being the brilliant perfumer that he is, Anyway, Alberto accomplished it. I believe that he absolutely accomplished what he set out, he being both Jeremy and Alberto, in Date for Men. So let's go over really briefly the presentation. As you can see, the box, matte white, shiny black, okay, and very simple eau de parfum. It is eau de parfum EDP concentration, 100 ml bottle, and you've got your batch code and everything on the bottom there. I can't get close enough to the camera to show you without getting up, so I'll just show you that. Fragrance 1, Grunwald, Germany, made in Germany, of course. It's where Jeremy's hometown. And then, of course, the bottle. Now, I don't know if you can see with the sun off of it there. I'm probably going to catch a glimpse of the sun. But the bottle is smoky looking. The glass itself is black, but you can see through it a little bit. I do like that. The lid is the typical lid, same lid, Office for Men, and the atomizer, of course, the same atomizer, so nothing new there. Now, this is going to go everywhere. The wind is blowing this way, so I'm going to spray it on this way on my hand. If you didn't see that, that's a good bit of spray coming out. So it's a vigorous atomizer, does really well, very similar to, again, same for Office for Men. Date for Men is not going to appeal. I can see why there's this general consensus, or at least it seems to be, that Office for Men is the better of the two. I disagree, because I like fragrances that do feature a sweetness about them. I think one reviewer said that they don't like the Jean-Paul Gaultier line like Ultramel or Le Male because of that sweetness, and that's perfectly fine. I definitely understand that. That is off-putting to some people, but I like it, and that's one reason I really like Date for Men. Now, does it smell like Ultramel or Le Male? I don't think so. There's some similarities. They do have things in common, just like all fragrances have certain things in common. This is a sweet or semi-sweet fragrance in the beginning, in the open. In fact, it's interesting, my wife said that, and she smelled this right after me spraying it on, and the next morning when I woke up, I had her smell my hand, which is where I originally sprayed it, and she says she still smells it really strong, but it smells like a completely different fragrance. So you kind of get a 2-in-1 in Date for Men. It is very, very different. Once the bergamot, the citrusy, and the sweet, semi-sweet notes dry off and into that woodsy dry down, you are left with something that smells very, very different than the opening. Date for Men says that it is a woody oriental fragrance, and there's bergamot, lemon, mandarin, juniper berry mixed with a clash of masculine patchouli, oud, vetiver, and cardamom. Now, they do emphasize oud as being masculine, attractive, and sexy, and I do believe that it is in this fragrance. It does darken it a bit, and it keeps it on the safe side, but there's nothing challenging about the oud in here, which is not a negative. It's you know, it's a positive. It's good. I do like the little blurb that says, "Work hard, play hard. The fruity opening is the flirtiness on a date. The laugh and the smile and the rich mids through patchouli and cardamom bring the seduction. Then we have the immortally masculine oud and super sexual vetiver." Alberto Marias and Jeremy having a conversation about what he wanted Date for Men to smell like. I could very easily, very clearly see that just by smelling the fragrance itself. Just like with Office for Men, if you haven't seen my first impressions of Office for Men, I will leave it up here. That way you can check that out. But very similarly, I think the biggest challenge for Date for Men, which I do like, let me be clear, I do like this fragrance. I like all those fragrances, and this is within that same wheelhouse, within that same genre. So if you like those, you're going to like Date for Men. However, all of those that I mentioned are priced much lower than Date for Men. I understand that Jeremy's starting out, this is his second fragrance, you know, using actual real essential oils and the way that they're processed is very expensive. I definitely understand that. However, that's still a little bit high price. It's definitely a niche price for a fragrance like this, and I don't know that it's worth it yet. That's the challenge of Date for Men for me. So that's it in a nutshell. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me, especially through the sun that is just now entering my eyeballs and causing me to go blind. Thank you so much for your support. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you next time, hopefully, if I'm not blind.